omulimu gukuze okugoba nakyemalira General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Kyagulanyi Sentamu Robert Bobi Wine guno mulimu gw'okugoba nakyemalira gw'okugoba dictator gw'okugoba akagulupu ke family rule okujija mu ggwanga Uganda Abanyarwanda basobola okujeyagaliramu basobola okwagalibwa basobola okwanyumiririza mu nsi yaabwe okukomya ebikolobero ebyenjawulo ebigenda mu maaso mu nsi yaffe kujjawo nakyemalira General Museveni Abanyarwanda basobola okweyagala kati no olwaleero olutuukidde nga Kyagulanyi Sentamu Robert Bobi Wine nga bwe yabyogera nti bigenda kuba era nno General Museveni bimutuukiridde ku luno nno embaga ekuze. Kale katutandike bwe tuti ate tubirabe.
And she's so controversial. I don't agree on some of the things she said, but her message, when that time came for her to stand up, she did not think of herself as a land person. Because land persons are these people who want to be decent. They don't want to show themselves whatever. But she did the controversial, what was controversial. Stella Nyanzi was born in 1974. She's a Ugandan human rights advocate, poet, medical anthropologist, feminist, and scholar, renowned for her work as fields of sexuality, family planning, and public health. Stella Nyanzi is a prominent advocate of human rights, particularly for marginalized groups. And yes, many people may not agree with her, but she has prompted awareness on issues on gender equality, LGBTQ and rights, and reproductive. Stella Nyanzi was arrested in 2017 for insulting Uganda as junta Yoweri Museveni, has sparked discussions on accountability, transparency, inspiring citizens to demand better governance. So No Roses from Her Mouth is a collection of 159 poems by her, written during her imprisonment for cyber harassment and offensive communication towards Yoweri Museveni, criticizing his oppressive action. So standing out and being that voice, despite where doing something outrageous. Yes, people might say, oh, she uncovered her breast and she showed them to the world. That is indecent. But she was able to project her grievances. And those were the grievances that are suffered by the many people who are keeping silent. Stop being silent and stop being a hypocrite. You're silent, you're suffering, and we are here abroad. Us abroad, we are here in exile. We are not in our countries, but we are silent. We are not doing anything about our situation. Next slide. I'll hand it over to Teacher Kelly.
Thank you, Teacher Mimi. I think I'm going to need the next slide in just 2 seconds, but before I get to that, I was unaware of Stella and the things that she had done, and I'm really looking forward to learning more about her. There's a long history of women getting just so sick and tired of being marginalized that they come out and do something like show their breasts, because they're just so tired of trying to do it the way that everybody else tells them they have to. And you get to the point where you just will do anything to be heard. So with that, we're going to move forward to building of an unseen future. Next slide, please. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. We're going to get to that in just a minute, I think, because that was just the title for my next one. But building an unseen future is kind of what we're all trying for. We are trying to build a future that is not available to us now, but one that we dream of and hope for. And oftentimes we fail. But just because we fail at the top doesn't mean that the walk up the mountain wasn't worth it. With that, let's go ahead and continue with Teacher Mimi, and we will continue this discussion in a moment.
Sorry, and actually we are coming to the end. Sorry, it's been a long session, but actually we needed to bring out these women. So the next one is Miriam Makeba used her talent for advocacy and diplomacy. So Miriam Makeba was an ambassador and a resilient symbol, played a pivotal role in the fight of justice and liberation. She was from South Africa, sorry. Inspiring generation to strive for change. She was born in 1905. 1905. I want you guys to pay attention to when these women were born. 1905 and when you're born. So see that difference of when they were born and when you're born. But they have done things. You have been born in a generation of technology, of all these things. Imagine 1905, there was no internet, no phones, you know. Most likely, most people were traveling on foot to go to the next village where they needed to go, you know. But that generation was not stopped to do something. Miriam Makeba is known as a Mama Africa, was a key figure in the fight against apartheid and colonial oppression, known for her artistic powers and unwavering commitment to justice. South Africa was then the Middle East of modern day slavery today, with the government exporting Africans for labor and controlling their life. Did you know about that? We only think about South Africa as apartheid only. And they were doing something Uganda is doing right now, exporting people to the Middle East. At 16 years old, Miriam was barred from attending school. You guys have an opportunity to go to school. And even when you have an opportunity to go to school, you do not go to school, you know, worked as a maid, a nanny. Despite this, she managed to perform music until 1958, when a city law prohibited Africans from performing. She used her world fame as an international star because she got into music somehow. She was connected and she got into Europe and she started singing. So she used that. How are you using your talent? To abuse people? Eh? How are you using your knowledge? Is it just keeping it to yourself and keeping silent? Me, I don't get in those people. Those people are crazy, you know, following this Mr. Chaglanya around, you know. How are you using your information that you have? Keeping it to yourself, being silent, doing nothing? Well, she used her world fame as an international star to expose apartheid horrors, resulting into her being stripped of South African citizenship. They canceled her citizenship because actually she went she made a UN address, which I don't know if we could play here. I don't know. We'll play it, but it's just an audio. But she was able to go to the UN and tell them the horrors of apartheid and the discrimination going on Africans. She was remember, not this century, I mean, not this year, but then she went to the UN and talked about that plight. How are you using your position to talk about the plight that is going on in Uganda? Yeah? And I'm talking specifically to Uganda because people are being killed, people are being imprisoned, people are dying of anger, other people are eating money. Eh? People are sitting there without a shame. Eh? You earn so much money, but you keep on taking away from the poor. Eh? You get scholarship, you have money to teach your children in these countries, but you get those same scholarship, you people, and you send your children when people in the villages who cannot even afford to go to school. So how are you looking at the things that are going on in Uganda, specifically I'm talking to Uganda, and you just say everything is okay because you earn a living. Because you're earning a living, passing on information. You earn a living because you don't see anything wrong. You are producing a generation of people who are going to be uneducated, who are going to jump up at your perfect picket fences you think you build, and they are going to use pangas to come and slash you people. We cannot prepare our little children like that. We have to make sure they have an education. It doesn't matter whether you're a minister's child. It doesn't matter who somebody is in Zimbabwe, who's a villager. Those people should have equal opportunities to go to school because these are the next generation. You cannot say, oh, because they'll be having a motorcade following them. No. Everybody has an equal opportunity. And this lady did not stop when she got into exile. Even if she was stripped of her, she was able to go to UN and talk about the flight. But we are in the diaspora keeping quiet because we've become citizens in these countries. We think that that is okay. We are comfortable and we are okay and we can't do anything about it. We have to speak what is wrong in Uganda. And she was exiled for 31 years, and she carried the ponderous weight of her country's struggle on her back. Next slide. And that is the address. I don't know if you can play it. It's an audio, just it's not music. Before you play it, can you go to the last slide, and then I'll finish, and then we'll finish off with that address. So the last slide, which is a quote, and that is a quote from me. And I'm gonna read it out. So, women birth nations. The first cry, the cry of a woman, only she knows. The loss of her born, snatched by the evil one, unlashes her fury of gush, that which brought forth, that which she bore. Her voice, her cry, calling out, my child, oh my child, for no man shall know the pain. So she holds hands up, eyes squashed like when she bathed, to bring forth the life she bore, till life returns to her lifeless child. Her wail, her cry, her search cease not until life returns to her children. The nation she birthed, Uganda. And that's a poem by me. Freedom is never, and this is a quote from Coletta Scott King. She was a daughter of Martin Luther King. Freedom is never really won. You earn it. Comrades, you earn the freedom. You cannot sit and think you're going to be silent. Things are going to take their run. You have to earn that freedom and win it in every generation. What is your generation going to be remembered for? Propaganda? Corruption? Silence? What is it going to be remembered about? You earn the freedom you enjoy. And that is the freedom we enjoy in these countries because they earned it. That's how we enjoy that freedom. The previous slide, Professor. And that is the address from, I don't know if you can play it. And that is the end of and I'll have teacher Katie wrap it up, but I don't know if she can. Professor, are you able to play that address by Miriam Makeba?
No, I cannot. We have gone over time, and then we will, okay. We'll have teacher Katie take it over. That is the end
of it, and I'll hand it over to Professor, and then Professor can go ahead and
all right, teacher Katie.
I'll be brief, as we've been richly fed and educated by our wonderful teacher, Mimi. It must always be said, when she teaches with authority, and not just the authority of an incredibly talented and strong woman, but the authority of someone who is very good at research, who finds those things that are real and true, and is able to present them in a way that is easily packaged just for us. Teachers Mimi's strength and ability as a teacher is one of those things that continually inspires me. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to get a help in the little way that I did today. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to get to hear our strong and incredible teacher Mimi. And I'm especially grateful for the platform that Dorcas, our incredible, strong, vibrant, and brave moderator, gives to us. If she had not been here to take up this mantle, I'm not sure where we would be. Strong women are the reason things move. Strong men are the reason things move. But don't diminish either. Strength of a man is not diminished by strength of a woman. Strength of a woman is not diminished by strength of a man, unless they are oppressing over them in either direction. If we allow those who we work with to thrive and show their strength, giving them a platform, giving them the ability to be exactly as strong as they can be, there's nothing on this planet that can stop us. Not a thing. The only thing that can stop us is infighting. The only thing that can stop us is too much pride to listen to each other. The only thing that can stop us is giving up what we want now for what we want most. Be strong enough to step back and let other people bloom. Be strong enough to sit there and let somebody else, who even you may not agree with, but let them make the point you do agree with. Build each other. Don't tear each other down. As women, this is our cause, to build other women that we might be the strength that we know we are. And it doesn't matter if we're educated, uneducated, if we have children, have no children, if we can't have children. Our value is not dictated on what we offer the world, it's what we give the world. Whether that be education, teacher Mimi, whether that be children, myself, or whether that be the strength and fire that just resides in us. Again, I'm truly grateful. This has been a richly interesting and very inspirational piece. And with that, I would just like to thank Teacher Mimi one more time, and Dorcas again, for all you've done for us. Thank you. Professor David, I turn the time back over to your capable hands.
Thank you very much. We have been truly fed by you women that have truly inspired us. We shall adapt Teacher Mimi's poem and recite it on our People Power conference coming up in Chicago. It's so inspiring. It touches a man of our lives. It enriches our strength and courage. The message and the lecture that you've given about women, citing examples of women revolutionaries from the ages of 13 all the way up to 40, 50, have benefited to us. One of the other hero of a woman is Winnie Mandela. She is also out there amongst women that have advocated, fought for resilience and for change. And so students, comrades, visitors for today's forum, we like to contribute and cherish Dorcas and her executive committee for partnering and collaborating with us in lecturing these leadership, people power, civic education, to teach, to inspire. And it's been really a wonderful opportunity for us to wake up in the mornings and prepare the lecture series for you. And I think as we come to the end of this series, today is our last day. And we congratulate those students that have been really getting up earlier and preparing and then putting in your assignments. And so our graduation will be June 8th. That's when we are going to announce the students that have participated, performed well. And then also we shall announce their names and we shall be giving them their certificates as well. Today, in honor of our women revolutionaries, we are not going to give an assignment, and so you are scot-free. However, I encourage you to catch up with some of those that are having missing assignments, to hand them in with the usual email and the way you do so. Finally, on behalf of my leadership team from Utah Valley University and the American Leadership Academy, I thank you, People Power Academy, the civic education program that you've truly enriched us. May I also remind you, comrades, visitors, and guests, that this is not going to be, the fact that our leadership lectures have ended today, please don't discontinue to participate in Uganda's bleeding civic education engagements. Keep coming. We may not be able to tune in, but we'll always be there to support. And so our end of lectures doesn't mean the end of all a program that is highlighted by the civic education. Please keep coming whenever you see those links. Please keep participating. For the young women and all women comrades on the platform, please stand up. I also like to recognize and allow me to submit to you that there are so many Ugandan women that their names are never heard of, starting from a housemaid to a girlfriend, to a mother, to a wife, that are fighting this dictatorship. But history will be able to reveal who they are when this dictatorship falls. Right now, their names remain sealed on our hearts, but we congratulate them. We know who they are. We know the work they are doing behind the scenes, and they are continuing to work hard day and night to fight, to struggle, to fight for democracy, decency, and justice. Comrades, may I submit to you that tomorrow the sun will shine again, the dictator will fall someday, and you and I will stand and look back and say, that was a moment where you and I fought, where you and I struggled, where some of us will be killed for the sweat and sacrifice. But whatever happens, we would have done our part in the history books of our struggle for a better country that we so cherish, that we so yearn, and that we so call our home. And so from our end, on behalf of me and my colleagues, Teacher Katie, Teacher Mimi, Professor Tim Sispansky, Professor Jim Powell, we congratulate all of you comrades and all of you. And we also thank DOCUS for having reached out to us to help out. May I also send a shout out to invite you to our People Power Chicago conference that's coming up in August. Please, if you haven't registered, register. Teacher Kate and all of us will be there to teach about our leadership program and to enhance and empower some of our People Power NOP chapter leaders in the diaspora and the visitors that will be coming from Uganda. With that, DOCUS, we congratulate you for this wonderful lecture series with your board, and I take the time over to turn this over to you. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you, our visitors. Thank you, our students from the American Leadership Academy that have been able to come in whenever we invite you as mandatory meetings. And so we thank you. DOCUS, over to you. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor David and the team at the American Leadership class. Special thank you to Teacher Katie and Teacher Mimi. Oh, wow. This session has been phenomenal. Guys, ladies, are there ladies in the house? I don't know if I should unmute to hear from the ladies. Ladies, could you give us a shout? If you could unmute. Yes, any ladies in the house?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, comrades. Oh my God. Ladies, I really, really hope you've been inspired, you know. So let us put our act together, because the dictator is not asleep. The raging dictator is fighting day and night to keep himself in power. We need you women at the front line. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, with that, we conclude our session. But before we conclude, shall we hear from you guys before our professors go? Perhaps we'll all take just seconds, and then we close the session. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyone more? You should be unmuted. Sister Prosi, I don't know if you're at work. Anyone? Comrade Reggie, I know you're not a lady, but please do come in and have your say, and then we should close shortly. Thank you.
Thank you, Dorcas. Of course, I'm not a lady. I am a man with all the features of men. So quickly, I want to say something to Teacher Katie, Professor Sejinja. By the way, the word ginger means a rock. Sejinja usually is in the area of something that is a big rock. So he has a very strategic name. No wonder he's a professor. Thank you so much, Professor. This is how I see what is happening. The dictator burnt down our highest institution. We all know that, Makerere University. Since the administrative block was burnt down, he's happy. He's very happy for that school to be reduced in value to mean nothing, because the hate, the envy, the jealousy, the rage that he has against this land called Uganda is evident in eroding all institutions, including education. So if we have Teacher Katie's, Professor Sejinja, we have Dorcas's looking into bringing the school out of the country where it has been eroded, it means we are managing institutions that have been removed. So we are Ugandans that are still managing very important institutions and very crucial, essential subjects that Ugandans need, because this man wants to keep everybody ignorant. He wants just slaves. So this is what you are doing. Please, please keep doing it. You're representing the whole education sector. And then lastly, just an encouragement to Ugandans is that we have been disrespected. We have been violated. We have been killed, murdered, tortured, imprisoned. But wherever we are, we have stayed Ugandans, and we're standing up and we're saying, no, we need sanity back to Uganda. If you look at all institutions, all areas, all countries, it is Uganda that is very deliberate. People power. And thank you so much for that conference that is coming up. The People Power Conference, I think, is the best event that has happened since we claimed the seat away from the dictator. And of course, he hijacked it from the elected president and stole our vote. But this is the best gathering, besides any politics, that has ever happened since then. So thank you so much for thinking about that idea. And the fact that it's the teachers, the professors, and the ladies that are spearheading this you're going to be seeing change. May the living God of Isaac and Abraham and Jacob continue to bless us and grace us, and Godspeed to you all. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much, Brother Reggie, for that. And thank you for all that you continue to do. Before Professor comes on, thank you so much. Dr. James, just a quick one, then we wrap it up with Professor. Thank you. Yes, James.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you to David. I normally call him David. I don't call him Professor. I don't call him Captain. I just call him David to make him approachable. I wouldn't say that I was just best filler, but you know, Dorcas, you know how much we were dragging on. You know, we have been at this for a long time. So their coming in has been a spicer. Muchuzi mix. It has really given us time to perhaps reflect, rest, and be able to come back to continue the Uganda's bleeding. Uganda's bleeding started off as a very big group and kept on dropping. And Professor, your new presence for the few weeks you have been with us, I think the numbers have come up again. I would even suggest you continue at least showing up once in a while to say hello. But thank you so much. I salute you for the lectures. Let's hope we put them into effective use. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. James, for those kind words. Of course, I'm not Professor. Professor David is coming in. And thank you so much once again to our lecturers. Well, Teacher Mimi, you teach so passionately. Teacher Katie, and ladies, you had Teacher Mimi. Let's, Ugandans, let's not spectate. Let's not sit on the bench or on the fence, but rather take action. Yes, Professor David, we hand over the mic to you to close us down. We really thank you so much for these sessions, powerful civic education sessions. And of course, we look forward to seeing you every now and then. Thank you so much, Professor David. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dorcas and the executive of Uganda is bleeding. My final remarks would be three things. Number one, to all of you comrades out there and all my students, let's not surrender. Let us not retreat. Let's finish strong. We know who our enemy is. Let us not shy away from the duty and obligation that has been endowed within us. Each of us is strong. Each of us can lift each other out. Through our support, through our sacrifice for the noble cause, we shall win the victor's crown, and we shall stand tall and put our shoulders to the wheel. And in the end, you and I will look back and say, we were there, we made history, and we shall not relinquish that God-given democracy and sense of decency that has been endowed in every one of us. Let us be a strong chain, a strong link. Let us not be a weak chain. Let us not be compromised. Let us be strong and move forward with the battle, with the struggle as revolutionaries. Let us help. Let us continue to strengthen each other, the feeble knees. Let us be articulate. Let us not tire to study. Let us be empowered each day and each night. Let us read. Let us attain knowledge and wisdom, the capacity to reason that which is true, that which is false. But above all, let us obey and protect the presidency of our president and our prayers to him and those that surround to him, day in and day out. In closing, may you continue not to tire. May you continue not to cry. May you continue not to lament. For he who laments daily, day in and day out, is no good, but he who fights, struggles, challenges the status quo is the one that wins the battle in the end. Thank you very much. I salute.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor. And of course, to you and the team, thank you so much. And have a good weekend. Thank you so much. Comrade Reggie, I will unmute you, and also I'll unmute everybody. Let's do the people power call and Ngule in English only, and then we close. Comrades, you should be able to see the request to unmute. We need to ensure you're still here with us. Hopefully you've been empowered, guys. This marks the end of our session. We will be communicating. Yes. Okay. Comrade Ismail, do you want to say a word before we go to Ngule? Comrade Ismail, how are you? Oh, you're muted. Comrade Ismail, we can't hear you. Okay. Okay. Comrade Ismail is go on, Reggie. Yes, please. People power.
Our power. I'm muted.
Come on, Reggie.
All right, everybody's unmute. There's a lot of feedback. Is everybody okay?
Yes, we have.
Yes, that's the whole idea, to have everybody make a little noise.
People power.
Our power.
Let's try it again. People power.
Our power.
And our power.
People
Power.
Okay, let's try the Uganda version of
English.
Oh, Italo.
Malengule, tuliambalengule, tuliambalengule, olutalo ngalwedde, tuliambalengule, tulivimba mu Uganda empya. Engule zimasamasa, olutalo aluwedde, yambalengule, tulivimba mu Uganda empya. Our power. People power.
Is over.
We shall wear the victor's crown. We shall wear the victor's crown. We shall wear the victor's crown. When the struggle is over, we shall wear the victor's crown in the new Uganda.
People power.
Our power.
And our power.
People power.
Dictator must go.
The dictator must go. Kale embeera yeeyo yakulwanyisa Nakyemaliira gino Kaguta Museveni nga buli mbeera ina tunogiyitamu, buli kimu tulina okukikola, buli muntu alina okukola kyasobodde, buli muntu alina okukola participation, buli muntu alina okuteekawo ekyo kyasobola okukola. Nakyemaliira tumugoba wano, eggwanga lyaffe litere. Kale mbaagala nnyo mwenna, Mukama bankuumire, banange mweraba.